In this video, I'm going to show you how to calculate the mean and the standard deviation of the random variable for an experiment where we roll a six-sided die. Right, so this is what I will use is in the following, in the slides 17 through 20. All right, let me go to Excel. And in Excel, I already created the headings of the columns for the table where we're going to enter the data. So for the random variable, we have 6 possible values, 1 through 6. So I type 1 here, and then place the cursor on the lower right corner of the first cell, and then when you do that, you see a black cross. When you press the Control key, you see a smaller black cross on the top right hand side. So what I want to do is, while holding the Control key, I'm going to click on that corner and then drag it down until I get the number 6. If you don't like doing this, you can type 1, then in the next cell 2, in the next cell 3, and so forth. All right, the probability of rolling a 1 or a 2 or a 3 all the way to a 6 is just 1/6. So what we're going to do is to calculate the probability, I'm going to type equal so that Excel knows that it's going to do a calculation. And I type 1/6. So it's going to calculate the division of 1, or rather 1 divided by 6. You press enter, and that gives you the result of that division. So then, to get the same formula across all 6 cells, you click on the lower right corner and drag it down until the 6th cell. And the probabilities are the same because each outcome of this die has the same probability. All right, in this column, we need to multiply the value of the random variable times the probability of each random variable. That's what this formula shows. All right, so to do that, again, we're going to use the equal sign to specify the formula. And then I'm going to multiply the value of the random variable. Then I use asterisk for the multiplication. And then I click on the probability that the random variable is equal to 1, this number. Right? So that's the product of the random variable value and of the probability of that value of the random variable. So type enter, and that's the product. And again, we place the cursor on the lower right corner until you see the black cross, click, and drag it all the way to the last cell. And these are the probabilities, or the product of these two probabilities. Now, if you look at the formula, the sum of this product of the random variable and its probability is the mean. So to calculate the mean, I want to type here the word mean. And then on this cell right here, I want to type the following formula. So type equal, then the word sum, and then you open a parenthesis, and then click on the first number that you want to sum, and then drag it all the way to the last number you want to sum, which is all 6 values. Then close the parenthesis, type enter, and that gives you the value of the mean. Okay. Next, we need to calculate the different quantities that we need to calculate the variance and the standard deviation. So now in this case, if you notice, we want to take the value of the random variable minus the mean and divide and square that quantity. So to do that, again, we always start with the equal sign that tells Excel that we're going to do a calculation. Then we open a parenthesis. We type the cell with the random value. Just click on the cell. That's B6, B6. And then we are going to subtract the mean. The mean is here. Now, to fix the position of this location where the mean value is, we're going to enter the $sign. Okay, that will fix that location. And then you close the parenthesis, use the caret sign above the 6 in the keyboard, and then press the space bar to see the sign, and then press 2. Okay, so that's how the formula looks like, and that's gonna find the square of that difference. So then you type enter, and that gives you that value. So now use to repeat the formula, use right click on the lower column of that cell, rather click on the lower right corner of that cell and drag it down until the last value of the random variable. Now, just to double check, make sure that even though you drag the formula, we need to make sure that it's using this 3.5. So let's click on the second number, for example. And you notice that it's still referring to this cell. That's what the dollar sign is doing. So again, enter, so that you do not change the formula. Click enter, or rather type enter. And let's check another number, and you see that D12 is the same cell is being used. So the dollar sign worked, or did what we wanted to do. Type enter to exit that. All right, so we got this quantity. So in the next quantity, we need to multiply the difference between each random value and the mean squared times the probability of that for that value of the random variable. So in here, what we're going to do is say equal to that random value minus the mean square, that's this cell, times, we use asterisk for the multiplications, the probability that x is equal to that value. So click there, and that's the product of that quantity. So type enter, and then click and drag to get the same formula across. So here are the values. So now if you go to the slides and look at the formula of the variance, see how it is the product of the sorry, I'm using a different formula, this one right here. So I calculated the sum of the difference square and I multiplied the probabilities of x equal to x. So I'm using this equation. All I have to do is sum those quantities, and then I will obtain the variance. So going back to Excel, then in here, we simply say equal sum, and open the parentheses, select all these values, then close the parentheses, type enter, and that quantity is going to be the variance. So I want to type variance here. So now I know, and let's put an equal sign so we know that's the variance. An equal sign here so that we know that's the mean. And now we want the standard deviation. So the standard deviation is just the square root of the variance. So to do that, to calculate the standard deviation, type equal SQRT, open parentheses, click on this cell where the value of the variance is, close the parentheses, type enter, and that's the standard deviation. Okay, so in this little video, I show you how to calculate the mean, the variance, and the standard deviation of a random variable. So for your homework, you can use this same approach to calculate the mean, the variance, and the standard deviation of a random variable. Okay, I will stop here. And again, if you have any questions about this using Excel, let me know. But I'm showing you this because I like you to solve your homeworks with less difficulty than, for example, using a calculator. But in the exams, I will never ask you to do this thing in Excel. I will give you the values. All right, I'll stop here.